Hey, Shalom Yahal Bashim Yahushai, Barakatham to all the brothers of Israel. Shalom Yahal Shamar Ilathah Bashim Yahushai to all the sisters. This is the ISUPK, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the one and only Commander General Yana. This is the Tuesday Brotherhood class out here in Las Vegas. You understand? Under Officer Shabal. You understand? I am Precinct Officer Arak. And today, as the title says, we're going to be finishing up our the breakdown that we had last week, being titled, "Is abortion a choice or is it sin?" And we kind of touched on that last week. We'll kind of touch on that question in itself, because you can apply that question to damn near any sin that you can even think of. You understand? And actually just anything that you even think that you have the choice to do in the first place. Right. You understand? For instance, was it a choice for me to wear this, this warband? I could have chose something else. But if I would have chose something else, would that have been a sin? You understand? You can simple question, but then, like I said, having an abortion, is that a choice or is that a sin? And according to the Bible, like what we're going to go over today, is that abortion is a sin. There is no choice with that. The Most High God is not pro-choice. That's right. You understand? His standpoint on you having an abortion, which again, if you are in this the circumstance, I talked about it last week. If you are in this circumstance, you make sure that you get counsel. You understand? Right. The Most High's standpoint on abortion is basically one way, and that is you don't do it unless it's in a matter of self-defending your life. And again, that's why I said, if you're in a situation where your life depends on you not carrying that baby to term, you go and seek out counsel. You understand? But in all other areas, in other words, the Most High God, He is against abortion, period. It is not a choice. That's right. You understand? The Most High is straight pro-life. And that's why I had said what I just said, that if your life is put on the line for carrying this baby to term, you go get counsel. You understand? Because at the end of the day, that's just you defending your own life. That's right. You understand what I'm saying? But all in all, the Bible is against abortion. The Bible is against murder. You understand? The Most High God is against murder. The Israelites, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it is in our DNA to actually care for life, to love life, even though that our oppressors put us on this in this negative spotlight that we are just some savages who just are just bloodthirsty and cannot be civilized. You understand? Is it Tawab? It's just, I like it. That's all right. You understand? They put us in that negative spotlight, but in reality, who really shines in that spotlight of savagery, of being uncivil, of just being a straight up bloodthirsty murderer? Right. Anybody? Make sure you raise your hand next time. But yeah, exactly. The Edomites. And quite frankly, if you look at all of the heathen nations, it's all of them collectively. Because you can look at the so-called Africans, that our Judite brothers and sisters and our Haitian brothers and sisters, that they just want to be a part of so much with the Pan-Africanism, right? Look at what the so-called African booty scratchers, them Africans, the Hamites, what they do in Africa. You know that if you are albino, they think that your flesh and your bones hold magical, and yes, I use the correct word. They believe you have magical properties in your flesh and in your bones, so they will cut you up, eat you, so that they can inherit the strength that you had. Right. Now, mind you as well, where does that ideology even come from in the first place? Because what is being an albino? What is albinoism? Is when you have absolutely no melanin. Well, where would any of the dark races, anybody who has melanin to them, get that idea that the absence of melanin is magical? Doesn't that sound familiar with Caesar Borgia? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all know him as Jesus Christ in your churches.
Right.
Doesn't that sound familiar? Because that Jesus Christ that is not in the Bible tells you about a magical heaven that would descend from the heavens and just place itself down on Jerusalem, and all of a sudden now we can all kumbaya when Christ returns. Y'all get where I'm going with this, right? I pray that y'all do. But mind you as well, what is the way that his word, that his ways is spread is with what? With the sword and bloodshed.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's the Africans. That's Christianity, the so-called white folks. I mean, you can still look at the Asians. Man, the Asians, you know what? There's a specific word for it. Something, what is it? Ancient Chinese medicine, something along those lines. You know what they do? You know what they use? They use the aborted fetuses for their medicine. They use babies that weren't able to, like not stillborn, but actually them too. But what is it called? SIDS, sudden infant baby death syndrome. When the baby just dies for no doggone reason, they take that baby and they ground up its bones, and they give that to you as medicine. I mean, now if I may, again, like what I said earlier, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, so-called, or as the Bible calls us, the 12 tribes of Israel. You understand? We have a regard for life. We have a love for life, and we got respect for the dead.
That's right.
These other heathens, they don't give a rat's ass on it. You understand? And that's why also part of the reason why we have to have this class in the first doggone place, because of what is that court case that's going on right now? What is it? Roe versus Wade, I think it is.
Yeah, right.
You understand? We got to have that discussion right now. And the funny thing is, these goofy ass women trying to say that they're gonna stop opening their legs if they can't get an abortion anymore. So you mean to tell me that you're gonna make wiser choices just because you can't? You basically admitting that y'all know that you choose the chump of the club, and then let him shoot up your club, and you need the option to abort that baby.
Right.
Y'all see how first of all how stupid that is, but also how wicked that is. You understand? And that comes from following the oppressors in the first place. So, like I do see, but the young man had his hand up earlier. You had your hand up earlier. Did you forget it? Oh, okay. Salagi. Go ahead, sir.
No, I was gonna say what you said is so heavy, right? Like you said, correct me if I'm saying this right. You just said that these sisters said if they can't get abortions, they're gonna stop opening up their legs.
Come on. It's all over Reddit.
If I could, give the Lord a hand.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Give the Lord a hand. Like, you mean to tell me that you're gonna stop being a whore if you're not able to commit murder?
Right.
The Lord is pushing two birds with one stone.
Right.
If you ask me, so like that's all I wanted to say.
No, God, see, now that's the thing. You would think it would be that easy of a fix, but at the same time, and they had it in the on Black Watch not too long ago. Statistics say, because this isn't the first time that the abortion law is being removed. So, you know, the numbers say that it, you know, whether you remove abortion or it's, you know, part of free health care, you understand? It's not going to change the fact that a whore is going to be a whore.
That's right.
You understand? Right. The only way to keep them whores from, or actually, let me take that back. The only way to keep our little girls from growing into whores is by, for one, you keep the goddamn man in the household. You understand? Right. We're men, you know, we got to take responsibility. We got to goddamn, you know, you make a bed, you lay in it. You got a child, raise that child up. Now, with us being in, you know, the oppression that we are in, there are those circumstances where we kind of get pushed out. And you know what? It is what it is. But when you actually have the choice and you make the choice to leave, mind you as well, that takes you right back to the fact that you sin. It's not a choice. You wanted to sin. You understand what I'm saying? So for the man to stick around and raise his child, but mind you as well, it's not just on the man. You understand? Because, I mean, hell, these sisters, they trying to push everybody out. And matter of fact, we're going to start off with the sisters in this scripture. Mind you as well, this is about abortion, and the biggest ones who make the decision, the so-called choice to sin, is the woman to get the abortion. You understand? But before we do that, I'm just gonna ask, like we ask every week, that y'all make sure that you like and share and subscribe to our ISUPK YouTube page, which is ISUPK Nevada. Make sure you like and share the class. You understand? Get this truth spread out to the four corners of the earth. And I'm not saying that with just the ISUPK Las Vegas or the ISUPK Nevada classes. I'm saying anything with ISUPK on it in the first place. You understand? There's somebody out there that is, that's so like, let me take that back. There is a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American man or woman out there that is looking for a way to change their life. And quite frankly, for the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the only way that they can actually do that is if they come back to the Most High God. And the only way that you can actually come to the Most High God and serve Him properly is if you get under this banner. You understand? You get in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. You understand? So make sure you do your part. You understand? This is that small portion of that small way of putting in your brick. It's just by simply liking and sharing. Participating in the algorithm to push out our video, but also to open that door for a brother and sister to be able to see these classes for themselves. You understand? So it's very important that we all partake in liking and sharing all of the ISUPK classes. So just give me one moment for me to do it myself, Baba Kasha, and then we'll get started. We're going to start off at the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. For those of y'all that want to get there while you wait for me. Also, if there's anybody online or in the class that has any questions, if you're online, make sure that you post it up in the chat. I'll answer it the best I can biblically. If I'm unable to do it myself, I see you, young man. If I'm able to do it myself, I will be sure to ask a mightier man than myself to get the answer for you. You understand? We are not the Christian church where I'm going to tell you something that sounds good, makes you just feel good, and we're not about feel good here. You understand? We are here for the truth. You understand? We are that medicine that tastes disgusting at first, but you know what? Once you're better, you get rid of that sickness. You don't need that disgusting truth no more. You understand? It's already in you. That medicine, them antibodies is already in you. So no longer do you have to go through that awkward change of getting rid of that sickness that is in you. You understand? Young man, you had something? What's the scripture again? We're starting off at Deuteronomy 28, 15. So I like it. I am the boy.
The book of Deuteronomy.
Hold on, one second. Let's make sure. A couple of them came in. They're just checking in. All right, so they're just checking in. Let's make sure my line is to what it is now. Okay, go ahead and read that when you got it, Baba Kasha.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not broken unto the voice of the Lord.
Read that again. Read that again. And speak up.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not broken unto the
Read
voice.
that again. Yeah, take your time. Take your time. No, you too wild. Just take your time.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So it's starting off, says, but it shall come to pass. Most High is saying it. Moses is telling the Israelites right here, right? He's telling us that it will come to pass. It is not, this might happen. There's a possibility. It shall come to pass that if thou will not hearken. Young man, do you know what hearken means? No sweat. Hearken means to listen. Because let's look at the rest of that verse. It says, hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. So listen, hear the voice of the Lord thy God. You understand? If you're not going to listen to what the hell he says, let's find out. Go ahead, read on.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I have commanded thee
this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Moses is saying that if all these words that were spoken to you, you understand, saying that you can get all these great things from Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14, that all these blessings will come upon you as long as you follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Now Moses goes into verse 15 to say, now wait, this is the flip side. If you don't listen to these laws, statutes, and commandments, you understand, all of these curses from verse 16 to verse 68 was, man, that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot more than 1 through 14, isn't it? 16 to 68 is a whole lot more than goddamn 1 through 14.
Right.
You understand? Our life can be very simple. Our life can be summed up in 14 doggone verses.
Right.
If we listen to the Most High God. That sounds very simple to me, so I like it. And I'm a nigga. I want me a simple life. I don't need all the extravagant skydiving and base jumping and you know all the dangerous shit that Esau does. I like you for my language. All the dangerous stuff that they do. Man, I'm just cool, just chilling at home, throw some damn meat on the grill, kick it with my brothers. You understand? Family, simple family in the tents. Right. You understand? 14 verses. But no, if you don't want to listen to the Most High God with the things that he commanded you, Black, Hispanic, and Native American man, to do, these curses from verse 16 to 68 will overcome you. Right. You understand? These curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, which when it says overtake thee, do you know what that means? It's going to take over. So give me an example of how a curse would take over. Would take over you. No sweat. Because you know what? I was prepared for this class. Go down to verse 57. It's not funny. This is serious. So like,
this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 57.
Uh-huh.
And toward her young...
Oh, Salaki. Go one verse above that. Salaki.
Verse 56.
Mm-hmm.
The tender and delicate woman among you.
The tender and delicate woman among you. Our women, Black, Hispanic, and Native American women, are actually tender. You understand? And delicate. You understand? Quite frankly, even though that they're put in this negative light that they are just monsters, which, you know, the circumstance, they have been created into monsters. Right. You understand? You can think of it as Bruce Banner without the superhero aspect of it. You understand? They got pushed into that gamma ray that now they just these ugly green monsters. Some of them. You understand? They got pushed into that. They got created into, you know, what is it? Dr. Hyde or Clyde or whatever the hell it is. That the abominable form of, is it Hyde or is it Dr. Hyde and Mr. Clyde or something like that? Right. It's basically Bruce Banner, and you understand? They got created into that. You understand? Because in reality, when you actually get a sister that, you know, no matter how monster she is, when you get her to calm the hell down and get into her character where she, you know, she shows that she loves and cares for you, tell me they ain't the most sweetest and most delicate thing. A Black man fight and die for that goddamn sister.
That's right.
I mean, hell, isn't that what a majority of the, I see you, sir, isn't that the majority of the feuds in the goddamn hood is over? Right. It's some woman. Well, you think they fighting over? Who fights over a monster? That's not what he's fighting over. He's fighting over the woman that he knows that she actually is. Right. You understand? It's the environment that made her into that. The oppression that our oppressors put down on us that made that sister into that monster. You have something, sir?
I just wanted to add to what you were saying. Like you said, our sisters are so amazing. Our sisters are so amazing that even when they are terrible, brothers will die for them. You see what I'm saying? And you know, niggas are quick to say how they don't put up with nothing. But our sister that a nigga will put up with all of the BS for a sister. For an example, this has been going on since biblical times. Look at Samson. You see what I'm saying? Samson went through hell over a whore, over a literal prostitute. Because our sisters are that goddamn amazing, man. You see what I'm saying? But go ahead.
No, yeah, Con. You understand? And that just lets you know at the end of the day, they honestly not monsters. That's a front. But the crazy thing is, and Salaki just really quick, the crazy thing is, who are the real monsters? Because goddamn Becky seemed like that's the goddamn prize of the dating world, of marital world. And then what is always come to find out when that marriage ends or that brother's life ends? She was a fucking monster. Salaki for my language. But the whole time, deep down, her spirit was a monstrous spirit. That was her spirit.
That's right.
But our women, Black, Hispanic, and Native American women, that's not their spirit. Right. And that's a front because of everything that this world, that the white man's world formed her into, so that she had to protect her sweet and delicate spirit. Right. She had to protect herself. That's why she acts like that. You understand? That's why it's important for all of us to make sure that you like and share these damn videos. So you know what? That sister can come to find out that, there are brothers that will be that monster for her, and she can just be sweet and delicate at all times. Right. But first, she needs to find me in school and get in class. You understand? Go ahead and read on.
Which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground of delicateness and tenderness.
For the ground for delicateness and tenderness. That's how doggone tender and delicate they was, man. We didn't even let our women put their bare foot on the ground. Because you know why? I mean, hell. When you look at today, who takes care of from head to toe the most out of all the nations? It's a Black woman. It's a Hispanic woman. It's a Native American woman. They keep themselves tip-top, clean, hygiene, the whole shebang. Now, now, mind you, they're doing that in the time of oppression, a time of slavery where they have to go and work just to have the option of being able to eat today or pay rent today, right, or keep the damn power bill on, or the power on today, right?
Right.
Now, just imagine if that sister was in her rightful place on the earth, where a Salaki, Lord allow in the kingdom I have, even before the kingdom, I got 15 goddamn wives. And I'm in a situation where not a single one of them has to freaking work. You understand?
Right.
Imagine how delicate that foot is. Because the more and I hate feet, Salaki. I hate feet. I hate it. But I'll be goddamn to get in the bed with somebody with some goddamn tiger claws.
Right.
You understand? Because that accidental brush is gonna be an accidental claw. Like that's a hell of a difference now. Me and Salem had this conversation. but you understand, Black, Hispanic, and Native American women, they are princesses. And not just, some some fairy tale princess that you read of. No, a real princess. That's right. You understand? Ordained by the Most High God of this Bible. You understand? And not only the God of this Bible and the one and only God of the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the God of Israel. You understand what I'm saying? You had something, sir?
All right, if I could, what you're saying is so important, right? For our people to understand. Like, this scripture is saying that at one point in time, our women wouldn't suffer their damn bare foot to touch the gravel. They was that pure. You see what I'm saying? They didn't even want to touch the damn ground with their bare feet. They said, I'm too. So nowadays, if they say sisters like that, they'll call them bougie. You see what I'm saying?
All right.
When really, they just understand that they're royalty. You see what I'm saying? And our sisters value themselves that much.
Right.
Nowadays, you'll see a whore, and she'll look beautiful from head to shoulders to breast to waist to ankles. And then you get to that heel, and it's cracks at the bottom of her heels and all types of stuff.
Right.
Why? Because they don't care enough about the little things.
Right.
If her feet is dirty, what else is dirty? You see what I'm saying? They care about what's going to seduce a simple nigga. You see my point?
Right.
So they going to pretty up all of those parts, the eyes that they going to bat at you because you going to fall for it. Mm-hmm. But that box and that feet, oh, man, it's destroyed, man.
Nah, facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Nah, facts. And what is that? Randy Russell, the dude with 2 first names. Mm-hmm. You understand? Look, check this out, dude. Gentile. What difference are what makes me a Gentile versus you a Gentile? Because first of all, I know that you clicked on my class to learn from me. You understand?
That's
Which
right.
means that you do not have the truth in the first place.
Right.
Just considering the fact that you even think that I'm a Gentile.
Right.
You understand? So this is what you can do, Mr. Man with 2 first names. You can just keep clicking on the ISUPK classes and shut the hell up.
That's right.
And just learn. So that way you don't end up looking like a fool in the comments, calling somebody a Gentile that you don't even know what a Gentile is.
That's right.
You understand? I pray that you understand and you stay in class. All right, go ahead and read on, Baba Kashai.
Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom,
Uh-huh.
toward her son, and toward her daughter.
So now, this delicate, tender woman, now mind you, we're still going through the curses. We're in the curses. So it almost sounded good, didn't it? It almost sounded like we was about to praise the sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is this curse is gonna take a delicate and tender woman and turn her heart against the man of her bosom. You understand? Against her own son, against her own daughter, against her own family.
That's right.
You understand? Go ahead and read on.
Verse 57.
Uh-huh.
And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet.
Yeah, man, you know what that meant right there? Even. So it's a son that, you know, he's at least at that age where he can speak and walk and basically take care of, you know, small necessities. Same thing with the daughter. And it doesn't even matter whether it's another boy or a girl. The point is that child that's coming from between her feet. You understand? That's thing. What did it say? Her eye will be evil towards even that child that's coming from in between her feet.
Right.
Now, mind you as well, did it specify on whether or not that child was alive or dead? Because when you get an abortion, especially with the ancient Egyptians, and hell, it still happens today, how do you get that baby out of the womb? Do you know? Man, they got some. A lot of people make little jokes about a iron, what's it called? An iron, put your shirts on them. What the hell are they called? Hanger. It looks like an iron hanger. And you just pull it out piece by piece. An arm, the head, the torso. Now you got the foot. It's still coming from in between your legs.
It's an abortion.
That is an abortion. It's not as simple as, you know, oh, they give you medication and then you just wait for the body to flush it out. It don't work like that. Women are not built to kill, period.
Right.
Think about that. Women are not built to kill, period.
Right.
So in other words, what's growing inside of them, that life that I put inside of you, you are not built to kill that. That is built for you to, in scientific, nerdy words, incubate it and then push the damn thing out into my arms. Alive. Right. You understand? Because mind you as well, just think about when a woman has a stillborn child. And for those of y'all that don't know what a stillborn child is, it's when a baby, you know, it's the due date. You push out the baby, but the baby's dead. The psychological toll on that mother is absurd. Just like getting an abortion,